Circe is one of the chapters in the book Ulysses. So, what happens in the chapter Circe is when Ulysses and his men are very hungry. They they're traveling, starving, and Ulysses saw this one island that he didn't know. So he went there to find some food, but before he ordered his men to go out and get some food, he went to find the food by himself because he already had 48 of his men left. So first there was so he started off with 100 men, but they kept dying, so he had only 48 or 44 left. So he cared about his men, so he didn't want any more of his men to die or get into risk of dying. So when Ulysses goes into the island, he sees this forest and he hears a weird howling sound. He thinks it's a dog, but later then he thinks the howling is way too weird for a dog's howl. So he just goes back while he tries to go back to his men. He sees this a large deer was on the way, so he couldn't go further. So he had to kill the deer, but after he killed it, it was too heavy for him to carry. But he thought of all of his hungry men waiting at the ship, so he tried his best to get the large deer. The deer was unusually big because there was something weird going on in the island. So he took the deer to his men and they ate and they slept. And the next morning, he told one of his most trustworthy soldiers, Eurylochus. So Eurylochus, uh, first Ulysses divided the soldiers into half, 22-22. So Eurylochus led the half and himself led the half, and Ulysses stayed at the ship for the to guard the ship. And Eurylochus went on because Ulysses did this because Ulysses saw a castle in the forest. So he told about the castle to Eurylochus. So then he knew about it, and yeah, Eurylochus. So then he goes into the forest and goes to the castle, and they see friendly beasts running around the castle. So he goes into the castle. So he stays outside because if his man doesn't come back, he has to report back to Ulysses. So his men goes into the castle, and when they find this really large room, they see this really pretty woman. She she first feeds them, and they keep eating like pig, the soldiers. Then they actually turn into pigs. So, but when Eurylochus outside doesn't, he seemed, so he thought it was weird when his man was not coming back out. So he, he actually went and went back to his ship. But so they turn into pigs, and and Ulysses himself went into the castle and saw all the pigs and thought it was over. But the messenger god, he came to help Ulysses because actually that woman pretending to be nice was an evil sorceress living in an island called the Circe. So she's named Circe, and she turns people into animals. So that happens, and Ulysses gets this special flower from the messenger god, and he goes in, and he doesn't turn into a pig because after eating what the sorceress gives him, so he first acts friendly. He acts friendly, then says, "Turn the pigs back into my men," and the pigs turn back into men, and Ulysses go back to his ship and continues on his journey.